It's you. Yeah. Fruit is sweet, contains a lot of water. It's alive, I would say. It's alive. It looks alive. It tastes alive. The water goes through the whole plant into the fruit. It's filtered. So yeah, those are all things I experience. Part of those I experience. Others I just read about. But in the end, I always go back to fruit because it does much better for me than eating rice, pasta, or milk products or meat. Because actually that is also meat, and in my opinion, I would say if I go to an orange tree and I pick an orange, it's like the same like a tiger is running after antelope or deer or whatever, and hunts it down and bites into the flesh, and he can eat it raw, you know. Like I guess at least the humans are supposed to eat raw foods, like alive foods, like things that live. And for example, there's a fisherman down there at the river. Would he catch a fish and just takes it out of the water and bites into it alive without killing it with a knife? I guess not. I cannot catch a fish and hit it on the head while it's breathing and the eyes are turning, and it's like, whoa, shit, what's going on here? That will be painful probably. I don't feel the watermelon suffers a lot from me eating it alive. It's actually bleeding water. Tastes really awesome. And actually, I've never overeaten that much on any raw food that I would have had really bad symptoms compared to eating rice, for example. You can eat tons of rice and I feel like crap. If I eat the whole watermelon here now, the biggest symptom that I will have is bloated stomach. And probably in 2 hours I'm fine again. That's abuse, but still it wouldn't harm me that much. So I would say if we overeat on the foods we are designed for, we don't harm us that much compared to the foods we're not designed for. If we overeat on those, it's like putting diesel in a machine that runs what is called benzene, normal, the other gasoline. If you put a bit of diesel into a gasoline in a car that runs with benzene, then if you put a tiny bit of it into the car, probably won't harm it too much, it will still run. But if you put only diesel into this car, it won't run anymore. The same happens with humans. So if we eat the foods we are not designed for in small quantities, we will still run, because we also eat foods we are designed for. But if we only eat the foods we are not designed for, we will get huge problems. In the best, we will live a shorter life and be in peace, at least on the mentality, so not make war to ourselves. You can go to McDonald's and have more or less peaceful life, apart from at least if we talk about your life, not the life of the animals, you support the suffering. So actually I waited a really long time for making a video like that, because I'm a bit perfectionist, so I tend to think about things over and over and over again before I do them, and still I would say it's not perfect yet. So instead of waiting longer and longer time and saying, oh, I'm on the raw food diet, not long enough, so people won't trust it, believe in what I'm saying is good and the truth, or whatever, my truth at least. So I'm on and off this diet for more than 3, 4, 5 since 2013 or 14. I read about this diet the first time in 2013 in the summer, and I realized really fast that this could be a solution to a huge problem that we have in our population. We eat foods we're not designed for, by that we're destroying the environment and creating huge mental problems. Like I'm sure that the foods we eat also have an effect on how we think. Like our brain is working a specific way, so if we don't get the minerals and nutrients we need, the things we're designed for. The fruit is speaking to us. It's like a symbiosis. It's like a symbiosis. We're eating the food, we're shitting the seeds. The fruit can grow. So that's the fruit tree. The plant can grow again. We're eating the balls of the fruit. The fruits are the seeds. Are the genitals of the fruit. So we have sex with fruits actually. We're supposed to do that. This is our part. In biology, we're supposed to do that. Not supposed to run cars around the planet, destroy the earth, and fuck up with all other species on earth. This is not what we're supposed to do. And I still also drive with a car here and there. I don't like it. I don't feel comfortable with it. What I feel comfortable with is sharing information or sharing dreams, sharing what I feel is right, what should happen in my life. Oh. It's really hard to talk about in front of a camera first time. I have to get used to that actually. It would really help me if you have some questions, serious questions that you have about raw food or something around that, so I can make further videos. Or actually, it's not a good idea to make a video and eat at the same time. It doesn't make sense too much. So we eat that now and we talk later on. Actually, have you ever seen the shapes inside of fruit or outside of fruit? It's like those triangles and 6-angle things, you know, like it's like really interesting shapes. You can also see that in every flower. All the plants, but especially in flowers. Sunflower, for example, you can see those spiral shapes, reticello patterns. What does it mean actually? It's like God is talking to us. We never designed those shapes. not not the egoic mind is designing those. It's like something higher up in our consciousness that can create such beautiful shapes. So actually makes sense to make a total fool out of myself in this video, so I can destroy every serious intention and afterwards rebuild it. Actually, I had been, after I seriously started to change my diet from cooked food to raw food, I first ate tons of bananas, salad. I followed this 80-10-10 diet thing from Douglas Graham, but focused mostly on bananas because they were the cheapest. I heavily overate compared to what I'm doing now. It was partly really painful, but yeah, then I went to Costa Rica for 7 months. I really appreciate that the guy where we lived, where I and the others lived on the farm, on the project, he told me once in the end, shortly before I left, that one of the only things, or the only thing I really can do, because I never really worked there, was talking. He said, the only thing you're good in is talking. So thank you, Ray, for saying that. Now I'm gonna talk a lot. So hope you understand. I hope you can mir verzeihen, dass ich das, ich hoffe, du kannst mir verzeihen, dass ich das nicht früher erkannt habe. Okay. So I don't know where this is going to. I don't know what this channel is actually about. Apart is not a word that is huge here. That's huge here actually is. Like, I don't know where this channel is going to, or what's the outcome of this channel. It focuses on fruit, on awareness, on environmental awareness. On simple living, and on strategies how to overcome the darkness of humanity. That's the point, I guess. To overcome my own fear of speaking my truth and my reality, and to spread it out. Because for a long time I thought, oh, this will never work. I will fail if I do that. No matter what I do, I will fail with that, because nobody's interested in that. Nobody's interested in fruit. Actually, it doesn't work for me at all because I have not kept diet for years. I just kept maybe for a month or something, and then I had some issues, mental issues that I decided to suppress by eating heavier foods, by eating rice or whatever. And once I got into that, I tended to eat it again because it's for me it's addicting me. It's easy to get addicted to it, to connect to this kind of food that gives you a kick, dopamine or serotonin or whatever. It's like pushing brain chemistry to peaks, to really high peaks. Oh, there's a bird is dancing on the car. Really cool. To higher peaks. So it makes actually the food that we eat in our society, the cooked foods, they make us high, definitely. It's comforting us. But it also keeps us low in our abilities. We could be much stronger, live much longer, look healthier, younger. And actually don't harm the environment by doing that. We're helping the environment to keep regrowing by, for example, by eating raw food, shitting on the floor. We're supporting the nature. If we put something on the shit, like protecting it from outside so it doesn't stink. Actually, fruit shit doesn't stink at all. It doesn't really stink. And it doesn't really hurt to shit. Oh, yeah, so it goes on. It neither stinks nor really hurts. And it goes much smoother. All like the whole process of intaking food and excreting just getting rid of it is setting it free is much easier. It really feels like comfortable compared to cooked food shit. If someone eats a lot of starch but not much fiber, eats cheese, milk products. For many of us, there are health symptoms connected to eating cooked food, and not being in a state of mind that could support them doing more comfortable. Actually, the goal is to enjoy life in every second more. If it's not enjoyable at the moment. A few days ago, I smoked the last cigarette. I was close to getting addicted to it, actually. I didn't really care. I was like on and off. I said like, oh, this is the last one. I ate raw food again and started to eat really good food again. Then there was a situation where I was motivated to suppress myself somehow because I got angry or whatever. Started to smoke again. So I stopped with that also. I don't feel any cravings at the moment. I feel really, when I feel bad in the evening because of detox symptoms, that will definitely come for everyone who does that, who starts eating raw food. There will be detox. there are things that or issues I had, or sometimes still struggle with, like feeling low, depressed, unmotivated. The reason for that is because I did not follow really what I wanted in life, really what I wanted to do, that I felt was right. Never really started to even follow that. So in that case, now I try to go into this direction to feel better with myself, to love myself more, because honestly, if you have a good idea and you don't spread it, you're lying to yourself that this is a good idea to suppress it. Like someone said on the festival in Guatemala, it was around New Year from 2016 to 17. He said, like, because I had some seeds in my pocket, and I asked him if it would be a good idea to run around and just spread seeds, and he said, yeah, like, it's all the time. It's better to, if you have seeds in your pocket, it's better to spread them and see what's growing, instead of keeping them in your pocket. And this is the same. It's like it's ideas. Ideas are also seeds. You can plant a seed in the mind of someone else and then see what's happening. I would say exchanging, like, I can just recommend, if you want to read more about the basics, of raw food, maybe read the 80-10-10 diet, just to see some things, to read some things that are really valuable about the information about fruits, why we should eat fruits and whatever, why other fruits are not so preferable to us. And this is really a good book about raw food, about food in general, about food and sports in combination, because actually we are all athletes. If we eat raw food, we will be motivated to, and if we keep eating raw food instead of eating other foods, and our choice is maybe more or mostly calories from sugar and just maybe a few percentage, 10 to 20% of fat and protein together, maybe 10 to 20. I feel really comfortable eating mostly fruits that are sweet, like watermelons, water-rich fruits actually. Dates and figs, I also like to eat them, but they don't do good to me. I feel really, it's too much sugar, not enough water. Even if I put them in water and I put them together with greens and put them in a blender, it's still not optimal, but it tastes good actually. So you should also try that maybe once in a while. About the book, 80-10-10 diet is quite fascinating. I read that the first time 2013. Read it in 2 months, and still one of the best books I've ever read. I did not read many books about that topic, so blah. I don't know. 10-10 diet. Yeah, this book I can recommend, and also maybe watching Loren Lockman's videos. It's like Loren Lockman from the Tanglewood Wellness Center in Costa Rica. I can recommend to watch his videos on YouTube to just get some information about how to really get your body clean, how the body works, what is our optimal diet, why is fasting the optimal way to get clean. He has a lot of videos and he really shares valuable information. one of the most trustworthy people I've ever met in raw food scene. People that eat raw food for many years and who still do it and who support others doing it. And yeah, I see great things coming up if I focus more on spreading ideas about that, and following up the fruit path, the path of fruit. So, okay, instead of eating watermelon now, I talk a lot of stuff. Really, I don't know if you can follow up all the information that I gave you now. Maybe not. Maybe we'll see. Please leave some comments. Please ask me what you like to know. If there is something interesting to share. I want to make a video close to every day if possible, and I don't know. Motivate as much people as possible to do something that is good for them and good for all of us.